like the post of the street, hole of the chest. You hear that? Like the pulse of the street. A hole of a chest.
Yo! What is going on, my people? Welcome back to another live stream episode. You heard what's going on. I hope everybody is doing great. Right now, I'm waiting for my lovely assistant that's going to be joining me in a couple of minutes. Definitely shout out to her. I mean, but before we start, I want you guys to like that like button. You know what I mean? Share it to your closest confidants, your closest friends. Share it to everybody around you. You know what I mean? Also, we are multi-streaming, not only on YouTube, but we're multi-streaming on Twitch, Twitter, and our favorite free speech place, Rumble. You know what I mean? I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Jazzy's podcast, Danielle, Don Armando, what's going on? Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Let me see if I can try to give y'all a little air horn. There you go. So shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Also, diaspora soldiers, they're quiet about everything that shows FBA in the bad light. Well, we are going to talk about that. I'm just waiting for my assistant. No, I'm just waiting for somebody that we're gonna be co-streaming right now to come in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is pretty much it. They're real quiet when it comes to FBAs in a bad light. And that's what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about how come, this group of people, who is a group, they're so happy and proud to say one thing, but when they're in the bad light, they're real quick. You come from a third world country and all that other stuff. But when they get caught in a bad light, that's when hush hush happens, right? That's when they stay shut. You know what I mean? They don't the music is mad loud. Oh my, hold up. Is the music really that loud? Wait, give me a minute. Let me double check. If Morena's right, then all right, cool. If not, then I'm a blocker. Let me stop. Oh man. Hold up. Okay. Let me see. Am I loud? Nah, music ain't that loud. You got your ears are vieja, bro. You got vieja ears, bro. Anyway. Listen. No, but usually that's what we're gonna talk about. That's what we're gonna discuss. The fact that this group called FBA, right, who isn't part of the Black American community. Let's be completely honest. The Black American community is very different from FBA because FBA is something that happened, was created yesterday. You know what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with Black Americans whatsoever. When see LA Throne says, well, this is the first time hearing about this. From what I hear, they're going to release the body cam footage. I'm going to wait until then and watch it to see what happened. Well, let's really see, because I want to see the body cam footage also. Apparently, the family seen the body cam footage, and it's horrific. According to their testimony, it's horrific. These individuals should be going to jail, right? So anyway, with that being said, I'm just waiting for my homie to come by right now. So I'm just gonna stall real quick. But The thing is that, you know, when these Tariq Nasheeds, oh yeah, look at what he got. Yeah. These Tariq Nasheeds ain't saying shit about this one. When these Tariq Nasheeds, right? They're very loud. Who created hip hop? Y'all didn't do anything. It was just us. We're the ones that made America. And all this other stuff, retwisting history to fit their little bullshit ass narrative, calling everybody tethers. You know what I'm saying? Calling everybody tethers under the sun. Doing this and that and saying that Africans, Haitians brought in AIDS into America. You know, repeating white supremacist talking points. When you got these FBAs doing all of that, but when they get caught in a bad light, oh, they're real quiet now, huh? They don't say too much now, huh? And by the way, FBA isn't Black American, all right? FBAs are the only individuals who decide to be part of this little Tariq Nasheed cult group. That's all it is. That's all it is. They like to be in this little cult group called FBA. That's all it is. Black American is a lineage. FBA isn't. You know what I'm saying? FBA isn't. This is something that was just created like literally yesterday. But it's real funny how the Tariq Nasheed and the leader, Tariq Nasheed, yes, he is a leader because he's the one that coined it. And everybody keeps on repeating his talking points. So that means he is the leader. The leader could call everybody out. Look at this tether doing this, tether doing that. We're getting harmed by tethers, but when we turn the mirror around, when we turn the mirror around, it's a different story. That's when the crying happens. Don't call me this. Don't call me that. Listen, ever since I started YouTube, and even with black folks that didn't even agree with me about black and brown unity, which I still uphold, who still don't even want to agree with me, they're the first ones to call, well, Latinos are racist because of this, and they got a whole long list. Those same people are very quiet about this. Huh? They're very quiet about this. And I'm going to wait for my homie to come. Hopefully she is doing good. Give me 1 minute, guys. Hold up. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can try to hit her up. Hold on. All right. My bad. I just had to make a phone call right quick. My bad. So she's heading on her way. It's all good. But let me just say what I gotta say. So it's very wait. Yeah, shout out to Yasmin. Yasmin said, black people talk about everybody but cry victim when you talk about black people. Yeah. You know, when I was out here talking about Latinos and talking about our bad history, everybody was applauding me. And now that I'm turning it, I'm like, yo, what about you? Oh, now I'm all type of this. I'm all type of that. Like, what's going on? FBA calls people tethers. Yet, FBA is tethered to the government, giving them reparations for nothing. But seriously, they're nothing more than a concrete shoe, and nobody's here is Jesus. Yeah, yo, that's funny. That is funny, and I agree. Well, let's be honest. Black Americans do, you know, historically speaking, they deserve reparations. You know what I mean? Is Tariq gonna get it? No, he's not gonna get it because he's not political himself. He even said it himself. FBA is culture. It's not political. You know what I'm saying? Look at the museum that he got. He's turning that joint into a club. You feel me? He's turning that joint into a goddamn club. You know what I'm saying? So come on now. Come on now. Let's be completely honest. Like, is he really serious about doing what he wants to do? Is he really serious about the struggle and all that? He's not. He's like I'm gonna repeat what Judge Joe Brown said. That's profit pimping, and I don't agree to that. And that's 100% true. That's profit pimping. Is it not? Is that not profit pimping? It is profit pimping. I mean, I haven't seen Tariq, actually do big moves when it comes to liberating his people. What happened? That many, you know what you could have done with that $1 million, bro? That $1 million. First of all, fuck a museum. What are you? A museum? Fuck a museum. That $1 million could have fed a lot of homeless FBAs. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a museum. How about you did what Nipsey did? Buy a block. House people there. Like, what happened? No. A museum. And then y'all don't get the museum. Y'all get an ice cream shop that's going to be turned into a club. The stupidest thing I've ever heard. And this is supposed to be Yah King? Okay. The black slave owners, along with the white slave owners, got reparations. The slaves were never entitled to them. That actually is true. I believe black slave owners, or just slave owners in general, got, I think, $200 per slave. I believe. That's what I think happened. They got $200 per slave. I could be wrong on that. I think it was like less than that or a little bit more than that, but I believe it was $200 per slave. And that was granted by the government. That was granted by the government. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a twerk joint, the museum. Yeah, well, it's gonna be a nightclub. It's gonna be a nightclub. When I said it right, the museum was to justify his ego. That's what it was. That's what it was. That there weren't that many black slave owners. Yeah, I think there were only like how many? Last time I checked, this was a long time ago. I think altogether there were like 17 slave owners who were black, 17, and the rest that accounted to like maybe a good 40 or 50 slave owners in total were white. I don't know. I gotta double check that. You know what I mean? I definitely gotta double check that. But yeah, okay. Oh, Denise! Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
What's up?
Oh, yo, what up? First of all, shout out to Denise. I mean, Tasha, but I don't know what you mean. What happened? I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Denise. Thank you very much for coming in. Shout out to everybody watching right now and commenting. So Denise, first of all, I want to just say, whenever I refer to FBA, I am not referring to Black Americans. I'm referring to the group members called FBA, the cultists who want to be in that group called FBA, right? And
the Tyre Queeners. Let's just say the Tyre
Queeners, yes. And the fact that every good thing that happens within Black American society, this individual, all his individuals, like to claim that's an FBA achievement regardless if the person who did achieve that refers to themselves as FBA or not, right?
Yeah.
So we should also do the same thing when something bad happens, right?
Yeah.
Because Tariq Nasheed is very quick to call out somebody who isn't a FBA, right? And he does that deliberately. So I want to give you guys um share my window right quick, right? So okay. So he had this on the other time or the other time. So it says 41-year-old Palm Beach man accused of impregnating a 13-year-old girl blames it on voodoo. The first thing he puts on the caption is non-FBA nonsense. So you can see that he's trying to separate, right? You know what I'm saying? You can see that he's trying to separate, and he's trying to make sure that these are what non-FBA people do, and this is what FBA people don't do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's
already kind of like throwing the hint as if, and that's what we always have to say. Like, we're not talking about the fact that, in absolutes, like all black people are not evil, but all black people are not angels.
yeah,
You
exactly.
get my
And,
point?
yeah, exactly. And this happens everywhere. So, and I wanna point to this. A couple of days ago, there was a black immigrant that went on a little bit of a shooting spree. So he goes on Twitter and says an African immigrant in Washington State went on a shooting spree targeting black people. Right? I want to say that one more time. A African immigrant targeting black people. That's what he said. Right? So automatically he's saying that non-FBA people are targeting you guys, right? That's what he that's what he wants to say. Funny thing is that even certain people on Twitter were kind of like telling him, interesting. I'm gonna blow this up. Interesting. Wonder why you remain silent on the FBA who shot and killed 3 UVA football players last month. You
Oh
made
yeah.
sure to mention this guy wasn't an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
he likes to pick and choose, right? So it got to the point where because of the African immigrant, right, that did what he did, he decided to have a little a live stream, right? He decided to have a live stream called Terroristic Tethers, making this whole live stream just on the fact that this African dude went on a killing spree, right? So even down here, people are correcting him, saying like, "Hey, bro, you don't know what you're talking about." They even captioned this saying, "Mamadou is suspected of shooting two Africans of East African origin and a man of African and Caribbean origin." You know what I'm saying? So again, he doesn't see that he made a mistake. He doesn't even care about that. He sees the headline and goes, you know what, let me cherry pick this propaganda. No, and just like the Diaspora Soldier says, cherry pick this propaganda. So if he's gonna go out and do that and be anti-black, right, then I think it's perfectly fine to be anti FBA then, right? And put everything in the context of anti-FBA. Would you think that that will be that will be fair, right? Since he's doing it.
Well, I mean, right, these questions. Look, I don't think you should put, like, we should play the tit for tat.
Yeah, of course.
But what I think we should highlight the hypocrisy,
Yeah,
because it's dancing in the ridiculous.
yeah,
It's dancing in the ridiculous, and I think, I mean, I'm not gonna criticize what you're trying to say, because to a degree, yeah, it's a conversation starter. Like, if you do the same thing back, then they'll understand how it feels. It's kind of like what people say about Republicans, right? Like, they don't understand things unless it happens to them.
that is
It's the
true.
same thing. It's the
That
same
is true.
thing that we're
Yeah,
seeing right now with the Tyre Queeners.
yeah, and again, I'm going to even rephrase this to let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna let me. Where's the okay? Wait a minute. Bang. Okay. So what I'm gonna go out on the limb and say that these 5 officers were FBA and the victim was a Black American. That's how I'm going to refer the whole thing to. So this is the first of all is a very tragic story for people who don't know. Um, the individual, I believe his name. Oh man, Trey Nichols, right? He got stopped in a traffic stop. And I believe a conversation happened to the point where Trey started to run. He ran not that far because they pretty much, tackled him or whatever the case is. After they tackled him, that's when they literally beat the living life out of Trey and pretty much killed him. And it's very unfortunate that this individual, this Black American, had to lose his life in the hands of an FBA, or the hands of FBAs. It's very unfortunate. And how do we know that they're FBA? Well, I'm gonna start doing the same petty stuff that Tariq does. Let's look at hairlines. No, actually, let's look at some last names because they got some FBA last names. All right, so let's go.
Earlier today, the grand jury returned indictments against 5 former Memphis Police Department officers regarding the death of Tyre Nichols. These are the same 5 officers who were previously or recently terminated by the Memphis Police Department. They are currently in custody. They are Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith.
All FBA names.
The grand jury returned indictments against all 5 with the same charges. And we had previously met with the family of Tyre Nichols to go over what these charges were going to be. And that meeting with the family, I think, went rather well. Here are the charges: second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping resulting in bodily injury, aggravated kidnapping involving the possession of a weapon, official misconduct through unauthorized exercise of power, official misconduct through failure to act when there is a duty imposed by law, and official oppression.
Fam, no lie. When I saw these charges, I said they are going for the jugular right now. I'm not gonna lie. These charges are crazy. What do you think about these charges?
They're insane. They're insane. Like, I mean, when you put in context, like the actions that will lead to those charges, is just disgusting. Which is disgusting. And it goes to show also that the topics that we often talk about when we talk about policing in America going crazy, we're right, because and that's something I would like to stop for a little bit. Like when we talk about policing in America and around the world, it's just because I think a lot of people think this is only like a US issue. Policing around the world, it's basically giving a license to civilians to higher power. And in America, it's very highlighted what's happening and at the rapid pace that it happens. And a lot of people hid behind the issue, or hid behind the aspect of this being only like a black or white issue, instead of just understanding this is a blue issue. Okay. And the fact that we are hearing radio silent from many Tyre Queeners and other Black Americans when it comes to this situation, I don't know what to think, because
it shows the hypocrisy.
Yeah, because that's what we keep saying all the time. Like, you have to call out the BS no matter what. You have to have a higher standard for your people. I don't know if you remember, but there was like a while ago, some of the first podcasts that you did that I joined, when I was saying to a certain individual that I'm not going to name, that if, let's say, for example, you're taking care of my kids and your kids at the same time, and they both do something wrong, who are you going to discipline harsher? And of course, that individual said, of course, my kids, because they're my responsibility and they're, basically my image.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that the Black American community should consider. Like, when people come at their attack, sometimes I will grant it, a lot of times is unwarranted, unfair, and biased as hell. But there's also plenty of times when we see the hypocrisy, the fragility, and the lack of accountability from said community. It's only like a very small group that I've seen that are very fair all throughout when it comes to the good and the bad.
Yeah,
but it's not the majority.
For some reason, I find that small group to be more. I'm gonna more conservative. The conservative ones are the ones that are saying, "Okay, no, there's fuckery on both sides. Let's talk about it."
Yeah, they have no qualms about voicing out what they dislike about the community, what they would like their community to improve, what the problems of, like, what they have as issues, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
But I think that it's almost often the group of them that are actually doing something major. It's always going to be the professional Black American. It's always going to be the top, the high vibrational, it's never going to be, because there's also, I would say, you don't have to be retarded to do this, but I think it's people that emotionally, and I'm very big on this, right? Like, emotional health is in major decay in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that in said community, just as much as it is in our community, we need therapy, because you can tell when people are not able to understand reality. You can tell that they're unwilling to admit any type of responsibility, because they refuse to admit that there's anything negative. And it comes to the point where only the positives count. And that is a little bit toxic, in my opinion. If not super toxic, that's like a cancer. But only like, oh, you're being like, I don't know if you met, and I'm pretty sure people in the chat have met people in their lives that when you tell them the truth or what reality is, they'll say to you like, oh my God, like, you're being so negative. Why you're always bringing up the bad things? And even though those things are real, they will protest against what you're doing or back off, because you're bringing reality to balance out things. There cannot be positives. And I think people need to understand this. Positivity cannot exist if there's no negative, because there's nothing to contrast it against. Okay. If you're only bringing positive things to the spectrum, then how do you know they're positive if there's no negatives to compare them against? So if you're saying that something is positive and you're highlighting that positive things, then that alone confirms that there is negatives. And that happens in every group of people, in every nation, even in individuals like you and me. We have positive and negative things. So I think it's time for Tariq Queeners and a lot of people to stop.
I want to just go back on what you just said. I'm all positive. There's nothing negative about me.
Nothing. You don't do nothing.
Nothing wrong. Nothing. You can't even find one. Find one. Go ahead, try to find one.
Oh Lord. Don't get me started with your dustier days.
Hey. We keep that quiet. We keep that quiet.
Your dustpan resume.
We keep those days quiet. I want to shout out JW. JW says, brought to you by FBA Hairlines. Going somewhere? Yo, shout out to Jay. Oh
Oh
my god.
Lord.
But this does bring up a larger discussion, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if we're going to be talking about the disruption of certain communities, for example, the Latino community, I'm not going to say that we're perfect. Obviously, there's bad apples in the Latino community. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm not out here making excuses for Latinos who commit crime, who do commit crime against Black folks or each other. You know, I'm not out here making excuses for that. I'm calling it out, and not only calling it out, breaking it down as to why. You know
Didn't
what
we
I
just
mean?
saw? But didn't we just saw? And I think I posted it on my Instagram. We just saw Lieutenant Nazario being brutalized by no other than a Latino police officer, and they only granted him 3,000 lousy dollars for what he suffered, and that was brown on brown oppression by a brown police officer upon
Yeah.
another Latino. So, like, if we're able to call out that nonsense, I mean, I get it. It's not in the macro because we have the same issue as African Americans, and we have to acknowledge that as Latinos, we like to only highlight the positives as well,
Yeah.
and we don't like to own up our own stuff. Like you and me have, you know, bring up a lot of stuff, and we have been deemed anti-Latino just for stating facts about our community.
Yeah.
So if you're not able as a Latino or as a Black American to understand that we're all part of this and these issues happen everywhere, and you're just trying to say that this is just a better situation or them over there type of situation, and you're unable to see your own participation on things, then you really have a problem. You need Jesus and exorcism and therapy.
And there,
Like we did. Yeah. You need to be baptized like 20 times.
yeah. No, but this is goes back to what I was saying about the hypocrisy. It's totally fine and perfectly fine for us to call our people out, but when we flip the mirror back and say, "Hey, look, FBA, that's a little anti-black, don't you think?" And then the first things that they go like, "Well, the Latino community actually," you know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
that shows that there's a lack of accountability. That shows that there's a lack of actually, okay, let's actually have a real conversation, because when we try to have a real conversation, it always feels like they think that we're attacking, saying that this is your issue, when in reality that's not it. We're just pointing out what the issues are.
But you just highlighted the biggest problem. You actually pinpointed exactly what the problem was. They feel like it is an attack. And that is the problem that I have with a lot of people. And it's a problem that I've always had. I'm so tired. That's an Americanism that I wish will die.
Yeah.
Like, your feelings are not important. Like, I've always been a firm believer of that. Like, your feelings are only important to your family and the people that loves you. None of us care about your feelings. F your feelings, you know. Your heart, like I've always said, is for your family. Out there in the world, your feelings are not important and they should not be validated. Why?
Yeah.
We don't have the space for that, you know. But even yeah, we don't, because imagine if unknown people or strangers start validating everyone's feelings, you won't even leave your house because it
Well,
will offend someone.
to be honest with you, that's what we're having now, right? A bunch
Yeah.
of validating of people's feelings, and now we got into, what's your pronoun?
Yeah,
You know,
not
I'm
only
him,
that,
his, hers, they, and them. You know what I mean? Like,
not
like
only
what the
that,
hell?
we're also going backwards, you know, because we're not only validating people's experiences but also placing so much importance on identity, when in reality the value should be put in character, you know. Like,
Wait,
I don't
break that down. What you mean by that? Break that
For
down.
example, I don't care that you're a Latino if what you're telling me is truthful, is something that's going to encourage me to do better, if it's something that's going to build me up. Like, people rather bunch up together with criminals, lowlifes, and deadbeats because of their identity, rather than with people that matches their qualities of their character.
But don't you think identity bonding it's a lot better off than character bonding? Because identity, for example, if me and you don't know each other, right, and we're sitting
Mhm.
next to the bus, next to each other in the bus,
Mhm.
and I start speaking Spanish and I have a Puerto Rican accent, the first thing you're gonna be like, "Oh, you're Puerto Rican?" That's gonna gravitate you towards me, so
No,
we
it's
can have a
not.
conversation. It's not. That's bull. Yo,
No, it's
that's
not.
bullshit.
No, it's
That's
not. It's not.
bullshit.
No, we're gonna
Why?
have a conversation. That's a conversation started, but it's not gonna make me gravitate towards you to be grouped up together. Like, I don't want to be, and it's something that, as controversial as it sounds, I don't want to be classified with Puerto Ricans that behave ghetto. I don't want to
What you
be bunch up in that
what
group.
the
I
fuck
want
is
to
you
be.
saying? No,
No, I'm. Look, I
uh,
don't even like, if you look at, unfortunately, a lot of my people
hey, what
from
up? What up? What
from
up? What up?
PR, first, second, third generation, even the way that they communicate and use English is completely different than that of how I use it. I don't use many, AAVE talking points, because that's not of my community.
Wait, AADE. I don't know.
AAVE is like African
Uh,
American Vernacular English.
oh, okay. Oh, I don't
That
know.
is their English, and
Yeah.
therefore should be respected and reserved for themselves. But, like, to be honest,
hmm
here Latinos have different identities that sometimes I don't want to be grouped up with them. Like, if you look at the Cholos, I don't want to be grouped up with Cholos
Well,
here.
you're
Like,
not Mexican.
but that's the thing. Like, when people say, "Oh, let's just group up based on identity," they are Latinos. I should be grouped up with them. But no, I
True.
have Latino friends, but we are linking based on our character. We're very similar in
Okay, wait.
values.
So how can you link somebody? Okay. For example, how can you link up with somebody based on their character? Please explain that, because I've seen other folks. For example,
Mhm,
people from the same race but different ethnicity. For example, Asians. For example, right?
mhm.
Somebody could be Chinese. Somebody could be Filipino. Somebody could be Cambodian. But there's the same race, but they have different cultures. But yet they still link up and have a great, chemistry together based on that. So I don't see character building. I see like something that unites them a lot better off. So how can you unite somebody based on character building? I want to know that.
But the problem is that this is the thing. We are linking up in today's society based on identities. For example, if you're of the LGBTQ plus community, you're supposed to be basically a monolith with other people inside that said community, rather than just link up with them based on what they believe. Because inside their community, there's anti-trans people, there's pro-trans people, there's many
True,
other things,
true,
you know.
true. But
So there's a
they're
lot
like
of
less than one
factions.
percent. Like you don't hear from them. But you're
There's a
right. You're right.
there's a lot of factions in every group. Now, the thing is that in today's society, for example, how do you link up with people with the same character? I'll tell you how it happened for me and how I've seen it in other people. You are going to frequent the same spaces. It's very, very likely that people that frequent the same spaces as you move up in life, you're going to find people that have your same interests. Okay, and those people tend to have, not always, but they tend to have your same values, mindset,
Wait, hold
goals,
on.
and
Okay,
vision.
let me think about it for 1 second. The places I used to frequent was the bodega, right? In the front of the building on the
Not
stoop,
just that. What
on the
I'm saying is,
stoop.
like, for
Wait, hold
example,
on. Wait, hold on. Fordham Road in Foot Locker, you know what I mean? You're where else? In front of Jasmine's house, you heard. Uh those are the places I used to frequent, and I knew everybody. You
but
heard?
how is your, if you think about it, if those were the places that you frequented in the past,
Uh-huh.
your character used to be dusty. Do you get my
Yeah.
point?
That's a racist words towards me.
No, it's not. It's not. You used to be a Dust fan.
I used to be a Dust fan. Yeah, Dusty's like saying the N word to me. Don't do that.
You used to be a Dust fan
Yeah.
because there's something that a lot of scholars on mental health say that the 5 people that you frequent the most will influence your character the most.
That's true. That is true. That
is a reality, which is what they advise to even pick your partner in life. Like have like a lot of scrutiny, because imagine it's 18,000 meals that you're going to share with that person in a lifetime. So and that's without thinking about the dates.
I'm Dusty Mofo. Then Morena says Radical was a Dusty. Yeah,
yeah, he was.
I'm not gonna lie. I was, and if it wasn't for the 5 people I hung out with, if it wasn't for my cousin and like at least 4 or 5 of my high school friends, I probably would have been in East Tremont right now. Y'all wouldn't even
look.
Y'all probably would have heard about me. You know what I mean? Eyewitness news. You know what I'm saying? With that big black. Yo, give me that water. You heard? No, let me stop.
Look, you're gonna change. You're gonna notice what I'm saying is true, and the people that are listening to us, like, just put it to the test. Just say, you know what? For the next 3 months, I'm going to make a friend outside of my comfort zone with something that you want to do. For example, let's say that you're a fat mofo and you want to get skinny. Then you're going to befriend someone that is very muscular or is into bodybuilding. Yeah. And you're going to avoid your fat friends that invite you to eat nachos at 1 a.m. in the morning and 17 fucking donuts with them. You're going to avoid that friend, and you're going to mingle more with your friend that's healthier. That's true. Watch your body change. Just test it out.
Yeah, that's true.
It always happens. You hang out with broke people and you wonder why you're broke.
No, you're right.
You get my point? It happens all the time. That's why I keep saying, when people link up based on identity, it does not work because it doesn't produce any result. People keep talking.
It's funny that you say that, and I'm not gonna lie. It's funny that you say that because when I had my gym, right, my business partner, the one that contributed a lot to the business, and he was the main reason why I even had it, right? So when he invested to the business, I had to give him a profit in return. So he was getting anywhere close to 5 to 8% in revenue without doing nothing, because he contributed to the, he put investment into it. So the thing is, I will hang out more with him in those days. I would hang out more with him, and also hang out with all the other trainers and clients and stuff that I started meeting along the way. And my lifestyle at that time was completely different. I was actually making way more money. I started to understand some of the real estate business that my business partner was in. I had a 6-pack, bro. You know what I mean?
And I can bet you my left eye that you barely step on the bodega for a long time.
I didn't do that for like I had my gym for 6 years and a half. I wasn't in the Bronx. To be honest with you, I was like living upstate, doing what I had to. Well, later on I lived upstate, but when I was in the Bronx, I was in the good part of the Bronx, Riverdale. That's pretty much where I was. And I didn't go to the bodega. I actually started eating in more, cooking my own food and stuff like that. And sometimes, I had a couple of shorties, cook. You know what I mean?
Oh my God!
But the fact is that it completely changed the way I was seeing things. And hanging out with him, I wasn't thinking about, hey, I'm gonna spend my money on a chain. I'm gonna spend my money on a new car. No, I still had the same 2015 Toyota Camry that's about to get 200,000 miles on that shit.
It doesn't matter.
I still have that. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't thinking about that. What I was thinking about is, okay, let me invest in something. Let me invest in property and stuff. But I was too focused on, growing the gym business. You know what I'm saying? So that you are right. You are 100% right on that. 100% right.
It's something that I have noticed, like I said, not only in my life, but in the lives of other people. Like you are, look, we don't have to even get this intellectual. When we were growing up and we turn into teens, and you will ask your mother, Mom, can I stay at so and so's place? What she would tell you, Hispanic moms are like that, just like, I have to meet their parents, and I have to meet your friend.
Or they'll be like, "Who's that?" And then I'll be like, "Oh no,
You
it's this
know?
person's friend, like this person's mother." Oh,
Yeah.
him. Her.
Nobody will police your circle of friends more than a Latina mother.
Yeah,
Why?
that's
Because
true.
they know that will define what's going to happen to you.
Or you better be back upstairs before the streetlights go on. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
No,
I
bro.
never had that issue because I grew up in the mountains. But my parents,
well, in your case, you better not. You better come home before the
coquis start singing.
Yeah. But
it proves the point.
Yeah.
It proves they know. It's Latina moms do that because they know, and we thought we knew. We're like, oh, mom is being bitter because she's not letting me hang out with the cool kids or whatever. No, they know that those cool kids are gonna drift you away from your studies. That those cool kids might get you hooked up in smoking weed or doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yeah.
So parents know exactly what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, like not for nothing. I don't think a lot of people know the ways I grew up. You know what I mean? My mom she came here in a Haitian moms are like that too. Oh,
look
shit.
at Morena says
Haitian moms are like that too. I didn't know that.
I bet.
Facts. My son still doesn't get it. Yeah.
Play him the stream, Morena. Play him the stream.
No, but the thing is that a lot of people don't know how I grew up. My mom came here not because she wanted a different life. No, the American government wanted my mom here because of education. She came in here with an education visa. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And literally after 6 months, they gave her permanent residency, and she was a citizen. She didn't even have to go through none of the crazy loopholes. You know what I mean? They wanted her here, and she was practicing psychology for a long time. You feel me? My dad, on the other hand, he's the one that's opening up bodegas and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And you were the dustpan that was always in the back with that fucked up apron and never knew the prices of anything.
No, I was the one to recruit the bodega cats. I was like, no, not this one, no that. Okay, this one could sleep in the bread. That's all right. No, but the thing is that because of that, right? My mom was like very strict with me going outside. I will always sneak outside because I lived in the first floor. So I would go in the fire escape, go outside, and it's over. You know what I'm saying? And I will get the illest ass whooping. It got to the point where the kids outside will be like, hey, yo, you can't hang out with us because your mom is probably gonna, like feel some type of way about it or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So I will be the kid that just knew everybody and knew everybody who would do stuff, but never got involved into that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Never got involved into that. But I was just the cool guy that knew everybody.
But you know what? It's something that it even will justify what I've said many times. And I'm sorry, Rod, because you're a Latino that was born and raised here, but it justifies what we keep saying about the Latinos raised out here. They're different people, but it's because their environment changes who they are. Now they can choose to be low vibrational, part of the low vibrational Latinos that are Americanized, or the high vibrational. That's up to people, individual. But you do Americanize yourself when you come out here. I even seen it on myself, and I've only been here for 10 years, and I was born and raised till 25 years old in PR.
Of course, I know, and I see it on myself too. I'm like, how a Starbucks macchiato? Oh my god! You know what I mean?
And when you go back home, you're like this
The bougie. You like
Yeah.
Bustelo? What the hell is
Yeah,
that?
you're like café crema. That's gross. Hell no. And then you go over
Word.
there, you're like a cafeteria. What the hell is wrong with you? Where's the
Exactly.
nearest Starbucks?
Exactly.
Where's my corner bakery?
I want extra caramel and 4 shots. There
Yeah.
we go.
And I want almond milk.
Word.
And
No.
a splash of coconut shavings and stuff. And people are like, what?
And by this time you have like a little poodle and sunglasses on, and you're looking, you're like, yes, how can I help you? No, but the thing is, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. We become Americanized, and when we go over there, we act like we're too good for certain things, and this is where they get the term. Even though we have their same blood, this is where they get the term. You're a gringo. This is where we get it at. Even us, yo, you a gringo. You know what I'm saying? Because we come with that attitude. So when FBA, right? When FBA says Africans don't accept us, well, guess what? Because you're fucking American.
Yeah.
Latinos don't accept other Latinos either because we're fucking American. We were born here, and there is a stigma on that. No shit. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing bad with that. I think I've said it plenty times when people don't understand it. I understood this reality. For a Latino or non-Latino to survive in America, you have to assimilate. You know, there's not 2 Americas. There's only one. You gotta go with
one.
you gotta go. And it's gonna be a shocker. Like when you go back home, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is so backwards. This is so like, different, because it happens to me every time I go. I love the simpler life, but sometimes when you look at certain advantages that you have over here and you compare them over there, you do kind of lose some of your resourcefulness.
Yeah, like Wi-Fi.
Back home. Not necessarily. Okay, we're not that back in time. Okay, we have Wi-Fi open there.
Let me stop.
But going back into the topic that we were talking about, to not drift too much away from it.
Yeah.
If you look at, let's just dissect for a minute, like those charges. Just imagine 2nd-degree murder. But I'm gonna focus on that one first before I comment on the other ones. 2nd-degree murder. Isn't that the same thing that we were like chanting and pissed off about, and we were like burning things down because Derek Chauvin was charged with a 2nd-degree murder when it should have been 1st degree? You get my point? I'm gonna continue. Then it says aggravated assault act in concert. If people don't understand like what aggravated assault is, like, come on, it's not like I just beat you up. We're talking about I actually use not only force but things to assault you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's basically what that means. Then we move to the third one, and I want people to understand this: aggravated kidnapping.
That I didn't understand. You got to break that down, because that I didn't understand.
Well, in my opinion, I don't know the facts because I have not read about this case. I'm just going by what they're saying. But aggravated kidnapping, that means that they probably used their force to arrest this person, take that person into custody when it wasn't supposed to be under custody. So again, aggravated kidnapping, we're not talking about just simple kidnapping. It had to be aggravated too. And no one is protesting this stuff. Now, official misconduct, okay, that can be something, because they acted, outside of the realm of what they were supposed to do with their rank and their badge. And official oppression as well, same thing. But the first 3 charges, come on now, where is the outrage? Where is the protests? Where are the hashtags? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, because at this point, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. At this point, it doesn't really matter if you're white or black. You're abusing your authority.
Yeah, we're against blue. We're talking about the abuses of blue.
Yeah. That's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. The abuses of blue. By the way, this was Denise when she in PR ordering Starbucks. She's like, yeah. I said almond milk. Okay, not 2%. What the fuck?
No, lactose free. Lactose free.
Duh. No. But no. It does. Again, it shows the hypocrisy. It just shows the hypocrisy. Like, so when unfortunately when Eric Garner got choked out, right? First thing you kept on hearing is, it was a Hispanic that did that, and then after you finish hearing that, you will hear, oh, he's gonna get off, this and this and this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that this happened, I'm not hearing nothing from nobody, and I'm like, I totally understand that the majority of officers are of the Caucasian variety, right? I get that. I totally understand that. But let's be honest, it seems like these officers who are not of the Caucasian variety still treat other people the same exact way. Listen, I could tell you stories of me myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting abused by cops when I'm fucking 16, 17, 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
For no damn reason. Just being in the Bronx in front of the bodega.
Being a
dustpan, exactly. They were the broom. I was a dustpan, you know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you, there were some, usually it was just white folks that would mess with me. But later on, I would see Puerto Rican and black cops do exactly the same thing they would do to me to other kids.
Yeah, because let me tell you something.
You got anything in your pockets that could stick me?
Look, I'm going to tell you something that's going to sound controversial. And I've said this plenty of times too. This is a rare occasion because, and I've seen it myself, because out of all the blue corps, right, black police officers tend to be the best. Latino cops, I don't care where they come from, we are trash when it comes to law enforcement. The worst people you could hire as law enforcement are those of the Latino community. And I'm not saying,
wait, unless they're Puerto Rican. Wait. Puerto Rican, some Central American.
Are you kidding me?
Or I'm dead serious. Some Central American.
You're out of
Dominican.
your mind.
I swear to God.
You're out of your mind.
I had the best experience. I had the best experience with certain Latino cops. Had the best experience. They were mad cool with me. They would even be like, "Hey, yo, you know what? I understand. It's totally fine, Papa. Just go." You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you the truth how it is.
Okay.
You gonna tell me? Those were outliers, and I'm not gonna go against your experience, but I'm gonna go based on facts. Okay,
hold on.
Hold on. Just look at the policing in our countries alone, and you're gonna see in Puerto Rico, did we not had since the 80s? The Cerro Maravilla situation was police corruption at its finest, responding to the likings of a corrupt governor, killing people that was from opposing parties because he did not like them.
Oh, that was an outlier, though.
They were not outliers. The Puerto Rican police force, and I have Puerto Rican cops friends, and they're amazing. Yeah, there's going to be good apples. There's going to be good Latino cops, but that is never the norm. The norm with Latino cops is that we are the most corrupt, and that is a fact that we need to accept. Don't we have La Mordida in Mexico and Central America, which is bribe a cop? They do it on purpose. They will pull you over and for stupid stuff that they will pin on you so that you can pay them off because they don't get paid enough. They bring those practices in here.
Oh yeah, they do that in DR. They do that
Exactly.
in DR.
The
Yeah,
DR, the DR cops kill people as a sport. Don't we see Abinader right now trying to reform the police and he doesn't know where to start? We bring those things to America. We're the worst.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. Well, hold on. Wait, hold on. Anti-Latino Denise. I'm just like no. I'm like, no. Wait. No. Check this out. Wait. Check this out. So, I understand exactly what you're saying, right? And I actually agree with you. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I just recently came back from Dominican Republic for people who might not know, right? And one of my family members who is I'm not just a border person, right? That's all I gotta say.
Oh, so he was whipping Haitians over there. Okay.
Whipping.
Do you remember the whips?
No. That's in America. That's our America. I'm talking about in Dominican Republic.
Oh, in the DR.
This dude was like, if he basically was bragging about it, that he's the Walmart of immigration. If you give him a good price, he'll let you through.
That was on Vice. Vice did a documentary that the border patrol in the DR is responsible for the illegal migration of so many Haitians.
Dude, so I didn't know this until I went there. And I was like, wait a minute, you're a border, and he was. I'm gonna interview him from now. I've got to hide his identity and all that other bullshit. But still. But
it goes to show
he's bragging about it, and it basically says a lot. And it says that not only government, but also local law enforcement is extremely corrupt and allows this. Now, you are right. Local law enforcement in our countries is extremely corrupt. Now, what I'm talking about here in America, you still will find the same thing, but I don't see Latinos as bad like
that. Oh
that.
my God, Brad. Let's keep it at 100. All right, like you say.
Okay.
When we saw Training Day, what ethnicity was that cop in real life?
Training Day.
Denzel Washington.
That's Denzel Washington and the other guy, right?
Yeah.
He was black.
No, he was not. He was a Puerto Rican cop.
Denzel Washington?
No. In real life, that cop.
Oh, in real life.
Look it up.
Did he have a Puerto Rican and Mexican girlfriend or something like that?
Go look it up. We are like this now. The police officers that we just saw doing these things to Lieutenant Nazario and pepper spray him for nothing.
Yeah.
Wasn't he Latino, Jose Gutierrez? I can continue down the list. They kill a lot of Latino people out here. Latino cops are the worst. This is said by Latinos themselves.
Oh, wait. So hold on. Let me. I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. Hold up.
Here we go.
Wait. You probably heard this before. But I'm gonna say it again, right? You probably heard this before. But wait. Hold on. You heard this before. Wait, hold on. But what you have to understand is
here we go.
That where these people are coming from, the more Latinos you're gonna have, the more Latino corruption you're gonna have.
Oh my God.
It's you know what I mean?
Then it's time to send us back home.
Then you're done.
It's time to send us back to our countries.
Speak for yourself.
No, but seriously, no, I'm not. It sounds funny, but to a degree, I do believe that we have to let go of those things. If we cannot incorporate into the Americana in some type of way, we can't keep bringing this stuff here. And that's what it brings me to what I'm seeing with this cops. It's very rare that we're going to see, and I'm not trying to in the Black Americans' defense, right? It's very weird. It's very rare that you're going to see brutality coming from a Black cop. Okay, that is very rare, and I've had many interactions with many cops.
You got 5 examples that goes against your narrative.
No, but no. What I'm saying is how many times, and I want you to be honest, and I want people in the chat to be honest, how many times compared to every other, contrast against every other incident throughout the year, how many times a year we see Black cops being responsible for some nonsense? It's very rare.
To be honest with you, no, not many. Look at Tennessee. That white officer who was slinging her torch around, throwing it all over the place. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? She even gave it to the desk officer. The desk officer doesn't even do anything. You know what I mean? So she was giving it to everybody. You know. So and guess what? She didn't even come out to even say that she did it. It was a report that came out because they investigated her. They were like, wait a minute, these officers are too happy with each other. What's going on? So I understand, but no, it's extremely
That's a job. Look, that's a job that if I were to be tomorrow, if I would be like, I'm gonna lead the revolution of America and I will become the president, I will literally make every African American a police officer. And I don't know, I think it stems, and I'm gonna tell you why, because it stems from their how can I say it? Their mindset. No, their mindset. No, because look, you gotta see how, like, if we see the negatives, we have to see the positives, right? I see as a negative that they have these unrealistic standards upon themselves, like they think they have to be perfect. And that's why they tear each other down. Like, think about this, for example. We have people like Harvey Weinstein doing disgusting things to women for decades. Okay?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my ass is in jail right now. So we have
allegedly.
We have the Harvey Weinstein. We have Michael Bay doing these things. We have James Franco being a full-blown pedophile out here.
The GOAT. Right? I'm playing.
Allegedly being a pedophile. Yes, allegedly being a pedophile out here, right?
Yeah.
But then the minute that we have one allegation about, let's say, I don't know, Bill Cosby.
Allegedly.
Let's just bring an allegation and say Bill Cosby was doing this to women, whatever. And like I said before, I believe those women in the past. Then we come to discover later on that he wasn't abusing these ladies. They were both getting intoxicated.
Yeah, they were.
And then they were having both intoxicated sex.
Yeah, they were.
But even the Black community fried Bill Cosby, canceled his image. Okay, because he was no longer that golden standard, and it's something that no human being can achieve. It's the same thing we see with Will Smith. Will Smith slap around Chris Rock. Okay, fine, it was just one time. Will Smith has given us decades of the Good Boy Act, and just because he slapped someone once, he lost his shit once, he's a human being. But even the Black community cancel Will Smith because they hold themselves to an impossible standard. So that's what I think makes them, even though they live in this constant paranoia of trying to deny certain things, that also gives them a quality to be excellent cops. Hence why they're excellent, and they're the majority of the people working private security. Haven't you looked at that?
Yeah.
Think about that. Every time that you see security guards, you see most likely Black people.
Yeah.
That's what they're good at. That's what they're supposed to do.
Well, as a former security guard, right? Former
of the bodega.
No, shut up. No, I actually was a security guard for family shelters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved up the ranks to be a security guard for like petty larceny, theft, or whatever the case is, and Dwayne Reed and retail stores. I only did it for like 8 months, and then from there I just went straight to like corporate security. And one thing I will say, the majority of those security guard jobs in New York that I've seen are all Black and Latino, all of them. Black, Latino, right? Now, is do I see black folks, like you say, like, they actually understand more? Majority of them do.
Yeah, they're pretty
Now,
chill too.
the
Think about it.
majority of the ones that I've worked with, yo, they were wow laid back. You know what I'm saying? Now, the older ones, the older, like, I'm gonna say past 30 years old, like 40, 50, those were the ones that were okay. No, they didn't give no passes to nobody.
But that's because they were old, grouchy, and they needed Cialis. My thing is that at this point, like, you gotta look at this, even this point. What makes a police officer kill people? If you think about it, um, it's not that they are racist necessarily. It's not that, and I said necessarily because in the Derek Chauvin case, it was because he was freaking racist. But it's not necessarily, because they're racist or because they're murderous people or they're just out for blood. Most of the times, cops kill people simply because they are scared. And the reason why they are scared is because they tend to escalate situations. They don't know how to de-escalate. That's not part of
That is
police
true.
training.
Yeah.
Now, think about this. If you put in there the most chill population in America that likes to talk instead of just pulling guns, which is African American people, you have better policing. That's just common sense. They're
Not
more
FBA.
chill.
FBA don't do that. FBA don't do that.
They'll
FBA
be
gonna
like,
shoot
kill
first.
the Nigerians.
No. You're right. No, you're right.
They're very laid back people.
Based on my experience, you're absolutely right. You're
They're
absolutely
chill.
right. And then the second chill people will be the Latinos.
Depends on from where are they from, because if
Puerto
they come
Ricans?
from, no,
Puerto
we're not
Rican?
chill. We're chill people.
Nah, bro.
We're not chill people.
Yo, Puerto Ricans are wild chill, bro. And they're gonna tell you
No.
a story while they're arresting you too. They were like, back in the 70s, I used to hang around with crazy legs and all them. Remember that? I used to break
Oh my
dance
God.
with cardboard. So they you know what I mean? They're mad chill, bro.
They're not chill. I think what other group will make excellent cops? I would think
White
that's a
folks.
tough one. That's a tough one. No. I mean, it depends. It depends. If they don't come from like those sundown towns, then yeah. But it's a toss. It's a toss in the air. I would
Okay.
say that after Black Americans, I would put there probably Irish people.
Irish? Nah,
Irish people.
bro.
Irish people. Irish
Nah.
people. I would put Irish people.
Nah.
Definitely
Nah.
put Irish people. You want to know why? And those,
Why?
I would put Irish people to deal with like the aggravated cases where there's a lot of violence. When there's a lot of weaponry and like violence involved, like I
Yeah.
would put Irish people in those
You
cases.
think so?
Oh, absolutely, because they are very volatile. They're aggressive themselves. They are more like in the fearless type of person, but it's like an irrational fearless behavior. Okay, because everyone can be fearless, but their fearless behavior is irrational. Like in situations when you should be scared, they're like, "Oh no, I'm fearless," even though they should be.
Yeah.
But that's, you will send them to deal with the cartels, with the prostitution rings, with all this, human trafficking
Denise, you
situation.
can't invalidate Rad's experiences with PR crowds.
Like, look, Ramon, you know all about the malditos gandules, okay? Don't talk to me about no Puerto Rican cops, because the malditos gandules, they are a piece of crap. Puerto Rican cops, when they want to be good, they are really good, but there's a lot of them that are freaking abusive, and
Listen,
a known
check this out.
fact.
All I gotta say is,
Allegedly.
wait. Allegedly. That sound did not. That sound was from my little board thing. Yeah, that
No,
was.
and the thing is, like, people can understand that what abusive is in a Puerto Rican cop, because they're not racist cops, they're not murderous cops necessarily, but what they don't understand is that they're corrupt, and also that they will ticket you to hell. That's what I mean by that. They will not even try to. They will pinch it on you. Like, you
For
know,
real?
in Puerto Rico, yes, you go like 1 mile over the freaking limit and one of those fuckers see you, you're screwed.
Oh no.
There's some times when there's no sign and they're like, oh no, you weren't supposed to enter that lane. What? There's no sign. I don't care. There was. They will ticket you through hell, especially the municipal freaking cops. Those are the worst. And they're rude as hell. They might not shoot you, but that's who they are. And then you have the Mexican Central American cops that will take freaking bribes. And those are dangerous cops. They're dangerous cops. And don't get me started with the Dominican cops, because you know what policing in the DR is brutality.
Yeah.
You
Damn.
know, so at the end of the day, we make horrible cops.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Left his officer's hairline. Yo, yeah. Oh my God. Have you seen Tariq's hairline? Come on, that ain't no FBA hairline.
But going back to what we were saying about this whole thing, where's the outrage?
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my thing.
Like, imagine
I understand. I understand a white cop that that did it and all that, but it should be. We gotta understand that it should be all across the board. It should be all cops.
Look,
You know
if that was Julio, Ramon, Jose, Brad, and Tyler, instead of those African American cops,
it would have been crazy.
Today America would be burning.
No, listen. They would have said all type of, hey, Latinos are this, Latinos are that. Mm-hmm. What this dude said one time? What did Vuvu said one time? He said
that we it's part of our culture. It's
part of our
white supremacists.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is the outrage? Like, where is where is it?
Where it's insane. But wait, I got some people from Rumble. All right, so High Noon says, very telling that she tried to insult you as soon as you brought up the fact that you worked in security. Okay, I don't know.
That was a joke. People need to.
Yeah,
it's just one stick.
But
just pull it out.
So police are trained to Police are trained to de-escalate. By the way, that is a false claim. LOL. Not well, I'll give you, but they are trained to end. They are trained at the end of the day. Please don't say things to say things. Oh, okay. So you got anything to respond to that, Denise?
Yeah, we've seen the evidence, the gross evidence of how police officers de-escalate. Like, we've seen how they are trained to de-escalate. We've seen it. We've seen the result. You don't have almost 1,500 fatalities from several million interactions every year, and so many complaints and settlements because you're trained to de-escalate. Because if the training was effective, like, just let's put it in a different profession. Let's say that you and me, we buy Chipotle out, right? And that's our franchise and we own it. And people have to buy products from us in order to sell them at their own Chipotle stores.
Okay.
And in every Chipotle store, every month, there's at least, out of the thousands of customers of every Chipotle store in America, there's at least 50 people that get sick from our burrito plantillas. Okay. Do you think we have a problem?
If you say only 15 people got
50 every month from every Chipotle store in America, every month 50 people get sick from our flour tortillas for the burritos. Do you think we have a food safety problem?
It's a problem, yeah.
Do you think there's a food safety problem?
Of course.
Exactly. So let's say, for example, that we own American Airlines tomorrow. And let's say that every month
50 planes are going down? No, bro.
One plane doesn't land. Do you think our pilots are well trained or have mental health issues that they don't want to land planes?
Why did that plane did not want to land?
You get my point? Like,
Did that
do you
plane
think
break up with another plane? What happened?
do you think that we will have an issue? So when
No,
people say stuff
I
like
don't think
this,
we'll have an. For planes. I don't think we'll have an issue for planes due to the fact that if a plane goes down, there is ridiculous amounts of investigation,
scrutiny, of course.
scrutiny
We
and
saw it.
everything.
We saw it with Sully. Sully was an amazing pilot. He made a great call because he was not going to make it to fucking LaGuardia. He was not going to make it to Newark. He was not going to make it to any airport. He was going to crash into a major city. So he made a great call and saved everyone.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he could not work at the airline anymore. His reputation was not tainted, but the airline did not want to handle him.
Yeah.
So my thing is,
even though experts say that you don't do a water landing, but the way he landed, he didn't put the nose down. What
he's an excellent. If you are in the heavens, you want to be on a plane that man is piloting.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
What he ended up doing was putting the wheels in and letting the belly take most of the impact. But he was still nose midway up. Like I think it was like 18 degrees. That's how he landed it. And the reason why they asked him, why did you land it that way? And he said, in major water landings, there's going to be crashes. And when you hit nose first, the whole impact is gonna go from the nose all the way back, and it's gonna break up. So he said, to diminish that, I slow down as much as I can and let it like a skip, like when you're rock skipping, like ta 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 ta. It basically went like that, like ta 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 ta. So that's how he interpreted it. And
he's an amazing. I don't know if you remember the case, because I remember when that case, and no, Morena, we're not talking about the one with Denzel, we're talking about the one with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah, Denzel did one too, but he did it better though. He went back, he did a whole flip. He did a whole flip.
There's something else.
Cocaine, got drunk, and then did another flip. And he said, he
needed that line of cocaine. Yeah, I know. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. The fact that
motherfucker on cocaine is the only reason why he could say that you know what? Let me do a 360 with this big ass plane, right?
Look, going back to what we were saying with this whole thing.
That was based on a true story.
And that's the problem that I have with government. Okay. Government does not understand. Well, government understands, but they refuse to do stuff because, of course, they're profiting from it. Okay. Government doesn't have Yelp. And I think that's something that we need to understand. It doesn't have Yelp and it doesn't have corporate. And it needs those two things. Like, how many times have you had the opportunity to put in a bad review for the messed up clerk at the DMV? Those employees are not productive employees.
You can do it on Google.
But they're not productive employees. They're never going to get fired. They're never going to get fired.
You can do it on Google, but it doesn't really affect them.
They're never going to get fired. Same thing happens with police officers. Police officers, for the most part, have uneventful lives, but you and me both know that they do crappy shit to normal citizens. Just because it doesn't end in a fatality, that does not mean that their interactions are positive.
You want to wait? Hold on. Wait. I think you made me stumble into something very, 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 profitable right now. I got this police simulator on my PlayStation 5, right? I have not played it, but apparently it's supposed to be a one-on-one comparison to real policing, right? I want to see how good of a job I can do on a traffic stop, and if I do a good job, will I end up beating up the person and arrested? I want to see how that is done. And by the way, I'm going to be asking for pronouns. I'm going to be asking for how you identifying all that. So stay tuned for that video to come out.
But going back to what I was telling you, if we are basically the boss of both government and governmental entities. such as policing in the DMV.
Yeah.
The problem is that we don't understand that policing doesn't work the way it's done. It doesn't work. Our government doesn't work, but they profit from each other. Therefore, they're never going to end it. They're never going to wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? This is not serving the people that we serve. We're going to rebrand this and close it down. If any business in the world had so many reviews and settlements, they would have been burned to the ground. And that's something that people don't understand. Every police officer that does something that they're not supposed to do costs you and me tax dollars.
That is true.
So at the end of the day, instead of us being bootlickers saying that they're trained to de-escalate, when obviously the de-escalation techniques does not work, like whatever they're teaching them is not working, stop bootlicking for them and just admit that it doesn't work. They don't know how to de-escalate and they suck at their job.
Just to answer people in the comments, I'm not talking about GTA 5. I'm talking about this. This is a real police simulator game. So you could stop people for broken taillights or whatever the case is, and so I'm gonna try it out. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna try it out and let's see how good of a job I do. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
Article's gonna be with those five. Article's gonna be with those five over there in a mugshot.
Nah, I'm gonna be Officer Lopez.
It's gonna cost the city millions of dollars and like 17 settlements in one day.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna record myself. I'm gonna see how good I do. Let's see if I do anything bad or I could see maybe if I arrest some people for some drug sales. Yeah. Anyway, seriously, finish up what you were saying. Go ahead.
If we were to make police officer, and I think the police departments, I think the solution, in my opinion, right? If I were to become somehow, like I said, the leader of the American Revolution, and people will listen to what I have to say, right? And somehow become the Empress of America. And I will make police departments a private entity where we hire you as a private company and we will bankrupt you. Okay? If you do something wrong, we will bankrupt you and we will hire another company. I think that is the best way to police in America. That's the way it should be around the world. And we don't have to do this whole thing about defund the police or abolish the police or take their guns away. I don't think that should happen.
I have some people on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. Like the video, please, guys. Like the video. Morena says, Radical is going live. Live out his law enforcement fantasy. No, but let's see how it turns out, though. Let's see how it turns out because I haven't played it. Let's see.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be the sixth one in there.
Oh, please get out of here
with a worse hairline.
But she's gonna be pushed back. But I think I think officers should have a gun insurance. That's what I think.
No, but
I think officers should have gun insurance because whenever you use it, first of all, you know what, your heart starts beating whenever you get into like a little small fender bender. Shit, now I gotta call my insurance. My shit's gonna go up and all that. So I think that police officers should have gun insurance.
But the only way that will work is if they are a private entity. That's what I'm trying to say. Because for example, an insurance company who's gonna fund, you gotta think like this. Insurance companies, the way they work is by not paying you. That's their job. If I want to start Denise's insurance, my job is to make sure that I find a technicality to not pay you when you need me. That is my business. That's my hustle. That's the hustle of insurances. That's what we saw in 2020 during COVID with the insurances saying to people, F you. Mm-hmm. That's what we saw with Irma, the Hurricane Irma in Texas and Florida. That's what we've been seeing. Okay. So if you take out gun insurances, they're most likely, the way our country is built, they most likely will say taxpayers have to fund the insurance because these morons ridden with steroids and anabolics will most likely cost that insurance so much on a daily basis that they will bankrupt their insurance. So it will have to be injected with tax dollars in order to cover all the stupidity
Or
that police officers do,
if they're
because their
going,
quotas are not going to cover it. Like, say,
but
for
if you
example,
think,
I'm a cop.
wait,
Let's say,
if you think the solution would be privatizing police officers, right? If that's what you think, don't you think a private entity who has police officers will be like, well, we don't have to follow the law. You know what
no,
I'm
you have,
saying?
but you have to follow the, okay. Even if let's say, for example, that I want to start
But
a
no,
private
but
security
look
company.
at Facebook. Facebook doesn't follow the law. They literally show you any news that they think is viable or don't. Joe Biden's
And
laptop,
you
they
think,
literally like took that joint down. If it's what I'm saying is, I don't think a private entity will help, because look, we got private prisons that don't help.
no,
You
okay,
know?
hold on.
Okay,
That
okay.
don't. The problem is that you don't. Again, I'm losing you because you don't understand what these entities are. Facebook is
I don't.
abiding the law. Facebook abides the law. The problem is that you don't understand the law. Okay, the fact that the social media platforms owners were dragged to Congress and no one talked about this, no one covered this stuff, but Mark Zuckerberg had to put on a suit for the first time in his fucking life and go to Congress, and all of the sudden Jack Dorsey had to do it too, the idiots from Snapchat, everyone had to do that. The only people that did not do that was TikTok. But they had to go up there after that scandal. And the only thing that people cover was like, oh, they're probably going to have to do certain disclaimers and whatnot. But I don't know if you guys noticed that censorship started becoming a trend in all social media platforms shortly after. Okay, so they are abiding the law. They're covering the stuff that they don't want us to know. Joe Biden is not. I got basically on Instagram and Facebook jail a little while ago because I posted that Biden is so demented that he was shaking the hands of people that wasn't there. And fact checkers in Facebook and on Instagram said that I was lying because he was actually waving at someone that was there, but the camera could not catch that person. You get my point? So they
Then
are
stop lying
abiding the
on Facebook.
law.
Stop
They
lying.
they are abiding the law. They're just
Yeah.
abiding the law of the elites. You and me, we're
Yeah.
peasants. You get my
Yeah,
point?
that's
So
true.
so they are abiding the law. When we say these things, we gotta understand that prisons are not supposed to help people. Prisons are places that employ people through slave labor for corporations, and they make profit out of that. That's what
Yeah.
prisons are. They're not
No, I
supposed to
know. I
help
know.
you.
I
You
know.
get my point? So it's the
Yeah.
same thing with police officers. Police officers are no other than a group of individuals that are escalated from civilian status, given a gun and a badge, so that they make sure that you don't step out of bounds under any means necessary. You get my point? You're supposed to abide by what the oligarchs of this country say. And if you don't, they will shoot you down. You get my point?
Yeah,
So
I
for
get it.
that, I think we need private security to be now the new face of policing in America. And it should
Mhm.
be regulated by government.
Mm.
Just have like a board of fuckers that regulates these
You know
people.
what this sounds like?
What?
Have you ever seen the movie Judge Dredd?
No.
That's pretty much what it sounds like.
Yeah, it should be
Judge
private.
Judge Dredd, like the police officer, makes a decision if you are guilty or innocent, and if you're gonna get convicted right then and there.
But I don't think it should go that way. But let me explain to you
Yeah,
something. Let's say, for example, that you have radical security and I have Denise
yeah, that's
security.
right. Radical security. You're
And let me tell you something. We go into this bid war, to decide that you win in New York and I win in California. And our companies are the ones that are going to provide policing in our states.
Yeah.
Trust me, we want to make sure that our company doesn't get bankrupt. So we're going to breathe on their necks of our officers for them not to mess up.
Yeah.
We're going to hold them accountable even for eating a donut out of schedule. That's why I need it should be private. It should be regulated by private people because we're not going to let our companies go bankrupt. Enough is enough. Taxpayers cannot take another tax bump so that we can keep covering for these idiots.
AJ, why ain't you talking about racist Latino cops that assaulted rapper Freezy LeBron in Los Angeles? You seem quiet on that. I seem quiet because I didn't know nothing about it.
Me neither.
Yeah, what? Who? Hold on. How long?
I don't even know. I don't even know who that rapper is.
Easy. Hold on, let me see. Oh, LeBron. Okay. Let me see. He looked like his. He looked like his music sucks. That's probably why.
That's what we don't know.
That's probably why they beat him up. Wait. Rapper Freezy wants 10 million from. Hold on. Accept. Well, shit. If I didn't talk about it then, I'm talking about it now. Wants 10 million from LSA SD for threatening to kill him. Ooh! Wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody coming at me talking about how come you don't talk about this? Well, guess what? I'm talking about it now.
Yeah, the tears. Actually, we can hear them.
Actually, this is actually a good article. Hold on. Let me see. Denise, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Read it real quick. I want to say. Let's see what this is whole thing. By the way, this is how he looks. He looks like another Migo Quavo.
No, he looks like a bootleg Tyga.
Yeah, that's basically.
And he has wait, go up a second. Is that a Polo Badro? That's like a cheap ass. Yeah, and those are red plastic cups. Yeah, he's definitely low tier rapper. Okay. Let's see.
So, it says Los Angeles rapper. Okay, let's go.
It says Los Angeles rapper Freezy LeBron, legal name Darrell Scott, has filed a $10 million claim against Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and a deputy who threatened to kill him while he sat in his parked car on New Year's Eve.
Damn.
Scott sat in his car in a parking lot off of Crenshaw Boulevard in Gardena, talking to his fans via Instagram Live when he was approached by LSAD, which is the Sheriff's Department, deputies, according to All Hip Hop. Scott's live feed caught the beginning of the encounter as deputies Justin Sabatine and Jacob Ruiz of the South LA Sheriff's
Wait, stop. As the encounter of deputies Justin Sabatine is not a Latino name. Jacob Ruiz. Oh shit. Oh, one Latino. Now we're all right. Continue.
Of the South LA Sheriff's Station approached his vehicle. The incident begins, according to Scott, with Sabatine immediately reaching into his car and trying to grab his arm. Moments later, a second deputy whose body cam footage was released by LSAD on Wednesday is seen coming at the car and threatening to pepper spray Scott. After Scott repeatedly asks why he's being approached, Sabatine pulls his gun and aims it at Scott, who is still seated in the vehicle. Move your hands from right there and you're done. Sabatine is heard saying in the footage, you take off in this car, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to make it super easy on you. You put this car in drive, you're getting one right to the chest. I don't care what you got. I don't care if you got bullshit on you, but guess what, bro? Now you got to deal with it. But if you pull some bullshit, you're going to take one to the chest.
Okay, real quick. You said 17 said that, right?
Sabatine. Yeah, that's not a Latino.
Yeah, it's not a Latino, bro. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what you're trying to do, but talk to FBA. How come they beat the fuck out of your people and he died? You know what I'm saying? Talk to them about that. Don't say nothing to me because I didn't know nothing about this and we're talking about it. Talk to your people about this shit. I'm saying? Talk to your people about this shit. All right. So next time you want to comment on some Latino cop, it wasn't a Latino cop, bro. It says it right there. I can see his last name.
Yeah, that was an Italian.
That's an Italian. It's not. So
the Latino cop was there, bro. There's a lot of people there. That does
Yeah.
not mean that he was the one trying to kill.
Yeah. Oh,
We
at the
don't
end
know.
of the day,
My thing is, no. Let me ask something,
focus on
AJ.
wait, AJ. Focus on the Memphis cops first, and then we'll focus on this.
Not only that, AJ. Now that you're here, are you going to the Italian podcast to demand that they talk about Sabatine?
Exactly. Like, come on,
Like,
dude.
let's just keep it real. Like, come on. How many black cops have been present on police brutality made by white cops and not do anything? What was he supposed to do? Shoot his partner? Are we really gonna put and put a vermel on that? No, why should I? Because
why should I? Because you're coming over here. You're coming over here like acting like we're like, how come you haven't done it? And when we do it, then that's when you go like with the excuses. Oh, well, the Latino cop was there. Nah, fuck out of here. He didn't even do nothing. Yeah. 17 is the one that's pulling out the gun and saying, yo, test me out, bro. You're going to get one in the chest.
Yeah,
so
go to the Italian podcast and ask them that question.
Well, last time I heard Sabatine is FBA, so you gotta. Yo, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Listen, give me your final thoughts, Denise. Give me your final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts is, it's a very sad day in America.
Yeah,
when we have one of the groups of cops that I tend to say that I admire the most because I've seen them in action, joining the disgusting practices of policing in America. It's a very sad day, and it's even sadder to see that no one, absolutely no one, is outraged. No one is on the streets. No one is calling it out. And I want to make a point very clear here. When we let situations and behaviors go unchecked, they become the normal. And I will hate to go back to this broadcast in 5 years and say, remember when we say that this was going to become a trend among Black cops? I think the Black community needs to call out this bullshit because they're going to lose one of the best aspects of their community, which is their police performance.
Yeah.
Okay, don't let these idiots taint that image.
Yeah.
Okay, because if not, it will become the norm. And I don't think that's something positive. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, I'm not surprised that the Tyre Queeners are not calling this out because, like I said, they need to understand accountability. They need therapy. They need, to accept the good and the bad that they do, but they're very far away from that. And we've seen it time after time. They never want to be accountable for the stuff they do. They are angels delivered from heaven.
Or they'll invent something like, what about the Latino the Latino cop who assaulted Freeze? When we read the document, when we read it, it wasn't even the Latino was right there, just going like,
because it's always the whataboutisms. It's the same thing we see with the feminists when they say, but what about the men? Or when we say the red pillars, but what about the women and the feminists? It's never about, let's have the freaking conversation about your behavior right here, right now. Let's just go on when you do it. And that is one of the most toxic ways of communicating. That tells you someone has a mental disturbance and they need a coupon to a therapist. When someone cannot deal with reality and goes to whataboutisms, they are deranged.
Give it a couple of years. Give it a couple of years. FBA is gonna be this when from the cops. FBA is gonna
be a white boy like me and you are. I want to be a regular person.
But you see, even in that clip, you see the Black cop chill as a cucumber.
Yeah.
That image is about to go out the window. Why? Because Tyre Queeners, FBAs, people that are hiding behind closed doors are not gonna call this out. And just like we saw the image of Black people be dragged through the mud by this disgusting rap culture that we're seeing right now, the same thing is sadly going to happen to Black cops.
Yeah.
Call this shit out. Stop hiding. It does not matter. These 5 idiots do not represent the whole force. Call this shit out.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta
Now,
say.
with that being said, thank you guys for coming in and watching our live stream. You know what I mean? I want you to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.
Bye.